Hi everyone, this is Miss Jen at the Floral Park Library. I hope you all are staying warm and safe on this snowy day, and I'm here to do a book talk with you. So the book I want to introduce to you today is called Spark, and this is written by Sarah Beth Durst. It is a fantasy book recommended for grades 4 through 6. So, the story of this book is about a 12-year-old girl. Her name is Mina, and she lives in a land called Aloria. So Aloria is a very special place, and the reason why is because it is controlled by these dragons called storm beasts. So when it's too hot, you have a storm beast that can make the weather cooler. When the crops need to grow, they can make it rain. When the clouds are out, they can blow them away, and everything is comfortable and perfect. So the storm beasts are controlled by children called the guardians, and the main character, Mina, really wants to be a guardian. She wants to have a storm beast of her own. And one day she has her egg and it hatches and she gets a lightning beast and she names it Pixit. So the thing about the storm beasts is that they usually reflect the guardian's personality. So people are very confused when Mina, who's very shy and quiet and timid, gets a lightning beast, because lightning beasts are a lot more wild. But Mina doesn't see it that way. She thinks that her and Pixit are going to be the best of friends. She's super excited and she's totally ready to learn how to become a guardian. So Mina goes to the lightning school where she tries to learn how to be a guardian. But while she's there, she learns a secret. This secret is very dark, and what she learns is that the way that the weather is perfect all the time in Aloria comes at a terrible cost, actually. So for the first time in Mina's life, she is really tempted to speak out and do something about it. Somebody like her who's so shy all the time, it's hard for her to do, but she really wants to, even as there are others who will do whatever they can to stop her and to keep a secret in Aloria. So that is the summary of the book. And I'm going to go ahead and read the first chapter for you, and if you like it, you can go ahead and check it out at the library. So this is the first chapter of Spark. Mina was quiet. Every morning, she liked to tuck herself into the corner of their farmhouse kitchen and watch her family storm through. Papa singing off-key as he poured sugar into the pot of oats. Mother yelling at him to add less sugar. Papa yelling back cheerfully that he could add more but not less because he was just that sweet. Her older brother, Gatan, stomping in to say he couldn't find his socks. Papa joking that he'd added them to the morning oats, and the twins waddling in with Gatan's socks on their hands like puppets. And every morning, her family had whirled tornado-like into the kitchen, Papa would bellow, Mina, Mina, is Mina awake? Anyone seen Mina? Giggling, the twins would wave their sock puppets at the corner where she perched quietly on her favorite chair. He'd clap his hands to his bearded cheeks dramatically, making the twins giggle even harder. I thought that was a shadow. No one eats until my little shadow eats. And then Papa would scoop the biggest, sugariest, best scoop of oatmeal into a bowl and give it to Mina before Gatan could inhale the rest and before the twins could spill any of it on the floor. Love you, Papa, she'd say. Love you, Mina, he'd say, and wink. She'd always been quiet. She'd been born without a cry on a peaceful night when the stars over their family farm sparkled brighter than usual. Or so her mother liked to say. Mina didn't think that was very likely. She'd been in the next room when the twins were born, and she knew babies were not quiet, ever. Even when they slept, they made cute, gurgling chirps, but she let her mother tell the story how she wanted. It was probably close enough to true. Most mornings, Mina would eat in her favorite corner and listen to her family chatter and laugh. She liked the way the sounds flowed around her. It felt warm, as though her family were tucking a cozy blanket of babble around her. And she loved that they never pushed her to add to the noise. But this morning, Mina had news. So she finished her oats, carried her bowl to the sink, and stood in front of the table. This was unusual enough that Mother shushed Gatan. The twins quit smearing their breakfast on their cheeks, and Papa scraped his chair across the wood floor as he turned to look at her. She liked to think this was one of the secrets about being quiet. When you finally speak, everyone assumes you have something important to say. And I do, she thought. I think my egg is going to hatch soon, Mina said. It was as if she dropped a teaspoon of water into a skillet of boiling oil. Everyone popped up and began jabbering at once. From Mother, "Are you sure?" From Gatan, "Are you nervous?" "Don't be nervous." From the twins, "Yay, yay, yay, Mina!" From Papa, "We're so proud of you." She grinned at them all. Mina had a storm beast egg. 1 in 4 kids in Aloria was awarded care of one of the country's precious eggs and tasked with bonding to the unborn creature. For 2 years, she had devoted 3 hours a day to her egg, being sure to touch its shell so the growing beast could absorb her thoughts and feelings. If she'd done this correctly, then when it hatched, it would come out as a perfect match for her. And they'd be bonded mind to mind and heart to heart. She'd be its storm guardian, and it would be her storm beast. Storm beasts and their guardians were responsible for making Aloria as perfect as it was. Every day in Aloria, you woke to a blue sky. You felt warm air and a soft breeze. Sometimes you saw a rainbow, but only when the farmers asked for rain on their fields. Wind gusted over the sea, but only when the sailors needed it to sail their boats. Snow fell on the mountain peaks, but never below the tree line. Lightning never struck the ground and was harvested from the clouds to power the city's magnificent machines. And there had never been a tornado or a hurricane, all thanks to the storm beasts and their guardians. Soon I'll be one of them, a real storm guardian. Just thinking that made Mina want to do a little dance. Quietly, of course. She'd been anticipating this day for 2 years. Longer, really. Long before Gatan got his egg. As soon as Mina had been old enough to read stories about storm guardians, she'd wanted to be one of them. To be out there, making the world more wonderful. She felt as if she'd been waiting for this all 12 years of her life. "She's going to hatch a sun beast," Gatan declared. He pounded his fist on the breakfast table for emphasis. The bowls rattled, causing the twins to giggle again. "Are you willing to bet on that?" Mother asked, a twinkle in her eye. 3 weeks of cleaning the chicken coop without complaining if I win? And 3 weeks of not milking the goats if I win, Gatan countered. "Deal." Mother held out her hand. "Deal," Gatan said. They shook to seal the bet. Maybe I shouldn't hope for a sun beast, just to see Gatan clean the coop. Mina made a soft clucking sound, which one of the twins, Rinna, immediately imitated, twice as loud. "Mina isn't half as lazy as you are," Mother teased Gatan as soon as they'd shaken. "She'll hatch a rain beast for certain." The other twin, Bion, clapped his pudgy hands. "Wind beast, wind, wind!" All of them turned to study Mina, and Mina tried not to squirm under their gazes. She didn't like being stared at, even by her family. Even if it was kindly meant, it made her feel like a bug about to be squished. Sensing her discomfort, Bion wrapped his arms around her leg and squeezed. Mina ruffled his hair in thanks. "Not wind," Papa said thoughtfully. "She's too steady." "Exactly," Gatan said. "She's dependable. Her beast will be a sun beast." "I do want a sun beast." Sun beasts and their guardians were responsible for maintaining the endless summery temperature in Aloria and for beaming any excess sunlight onto crops to make them grow faster. Gatan had hatched a sun beast 3 years ago. His beast power would be fading soon. Once a storm beast finished growing to full size, it lost its ability to control the weather, and he'd said several times that he wanted his little sister to take over his work in the local fields. Sometimes Mina thought she'd like spending her days the way Gatan did, out in the fields, drawing in and dispersing the sun's energy over the crops. Because of the storm beasts and their guardians, everyone in Aloria always had enough to eat. But I also want a rain beast, or a wind beast. Flying on a wind beast would be amazing. She'd spent hours imagining herself with different kinds of beasts. All of them had a role in making Aloria great. "I'd be happy with any kind of beast," Mina said. "I want a snow beast," Rinna announced, "so I can throw snowballs at Bion all the time." Mina smiled as Bion and Rinna stuck their tongues out at each other. Neither of them had ever so much as seen a snowball, but lately, Mother and Papa had been telling the twins lots of tales about the different kinds of storm beasts in preparation for Mina's egg hatching. Altogether, there were 5 kinds of storm beasts: sun, rain, wind, snow, and lightning. Any egg could hatch any kind of beast. How the creature developed depended on the personality of the boy or girl who'd taken care of its egg. What it absorbed from them shaped how it grew. Years ago, Papa had hatched a rain beast, and Gatan had a sun beast. Mina thought of her egg upstairs. I can't wait to meet you. Soon, she'd see which of her daydreams were going to come true. Lately, she'd been hoping for a wind beast because she loved wind days so much. In fact, today was a wind day. Shouldn't we be getting ready? She asked when they paused for breath. Yes, we should. Good of you to remember, Papa said, jolted out of his contemplation of Mina's future. The wind should start in about 20 minutes. See, Gatan said, she's responsible. Sun beast. You do look out for everyone, Papa said to Mina with a proud smile. You're going to be a wonderful guardian. I hope so, Mina said softly. With all my heart, I hope he's right. Mother clapped her hands. Okay, let's move. Everyone sprang up from the breakfast table and scurried to help clean, chattering all the while about what kind of beast would hatch, how wonderful it all was, and how, regardless of the bet, her brother would have to take over all Mina's chores, including the chicken coop, once she started training. Groaning, Gatan said, Maybe it would be better if your egg didn't hatch soon. Mina laughed. She left her bowl on the rack to dry, nestled against the other bowls, and went outside. The screen door banged behind her as Mother called, Mina, get the kites. Mina waved so Mother would know she'd heard. The farm sparkled in the morning sun. The field stretching out before her shimmered with dewy leaves that waved in the soft breeze. As always, it was a beautiful day. Orly, Papa's old rain beast, was flying above the farmhouse, her wings stretched wide. She was dragon-shaped, like all storm beasts, but had the beautiful blue color that marked her as a rain beast. Her chest was covered in shimmering blue scales, and her wings were blue feathers. Every kind of blue in the sky, from pale morning yellow blue to deep storm blue-gray. Mina imagined herself flying on a rain beast, guiding the water that would soak the fields or fill the reservoirs. It must feel amazing to bring the rain. Gatan, Mother called, sticking her head out the kitchen window. Have you secured the wheat seeds? We can't let the wind blow them away. Gatan called back from within the corn, close to the house but not visible behind the stalks. Already done, Mother. Standing up on her tiptoes, Mina looked for her brother and saw the sunset red glow of his beast, Artie, between the rows. A fat dragon, Artie didn't fly often. He spent most of his days with Gatan out in the fields, soaking up the sun's rays and then distributing them to whatever farm needed them the most. He also liked to chirp at passing birds. He had the silliest chirp for a beast his size. Not that I'd ever tell Gatan that, Mina thought. Gatan adored his beast. You'll adore yours too, he told her once. You'll see. You can't help it. Your beast will hatch, and it will feel like you've always known each other. She wanted that so badly that sometimes it felt like an ache. Hatch soon, she'd always thought of herself as patient. Papa called her steady, but now all her dreams were so close. Mina, Mother said again, stop daydreaming and get the kites. Quickly, Mina retrieved the kites from the shed and hurried around the house to where Papa was already hooking the twins up to the posts. If you wanted to be outside on a day when the wind guardians and their beasts swept across the farmlands, you had to secure yourself. It wasn't strictly necessary, since the winds were never truly dangerous. Not the way they were beyond the mountains. But if you weren't used to feeling any wind, you could get knocked off your feet. The twins were giggling and squirming as Papa tried to attach their harnesses. Rinna, stop that, Papa was saying. Bian, don't chew on the rope. You're not a puppy. Arf, 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 barked Bian. Joining Papa, Mina handed the twins their kites, and they clutched them to their chests. She tied the ends of their kite strings to the posts. Papa at last clipped the harness into place and heaved a sigh of relief. Papa, I have to go pee, Rinna announced. Mina smothered a grin. I should have bet Gatan she'd say that. Papa's shoulders slumped and he banged his forehead lightly on the post. Can you hold it? Mother breezed past on her way to the porch. No, she can't. She's too excited. Unhook her, take her in, and hook her back up. Bian, stop eating the rope. You'll ruin your supper. Arf, he said to her. Woof, woof, Mother barked back. Mina whispered to Bian. Meow. Bian giggled so hard that he stopped chewing on the rope. I'll watch him, Mina told Papa. Papa kissed her on the head. You're my sweet girl. Don't forget to secure yourself. I heard from the message balloon that this one's going to be spectacular. He quickly freed Rina and shepherded her into the house. Bian laughed and meowed as Mina clipped on her own harness and then showed him how to unravel the end of his kite string. Before today, the twins had been too little to be outside for a wind day. And now Papa had made the twins' first kites, simple diamond shapes, decorated with the symbol for their family's farm. Hers was more elaborate. On both sides, she painted pictures of the mountains that bordered Aloria, as well as their family sign. The wind guardians used the kites to help them navigate. Every wind day, all the farmers flew kites so the fast-flying guardians could distinguish one farm from another. It was tradition. Also, it's fun, Mina thought. A few minutes later, Papa rushed back with Rina in his arms and attached her harness. Papa, Bian said. I have to. Papa leveled a finger at his nose. No, you don't. Bian giggled again. From the window, Mother called, Mina, did you shut your window? You don't want the wind blowing dirt on your egg. Of course she had. Yes, it's shut, Mina said. Mother leaned farther out, trying to see Mina's window. What did you say? Speak louder. Bells began to ring, a cascade of notes that reverberated over the hills. The wind guardians would be here soon. It's almost time, Papa called. Where's Gatan? Emerging from the cornfields, Gatan jogged toward them. Right here, and I could see Mina's window. It's definitely closed. Tornadoes take us if anything were to happen to her unborn sun beast, but he winked at Mina so she'd know he wasn't serious. It will be a rain beast, Mother called as she disappeared from the window, closing the shutters behind her. Snow beast, Rina cried. Looking up at her bedroom window, Mina thought, I'll love you whatever you are. Just hatch soon. Mother emerged outside and hurried across the yard. It won't be a snow beast. Mina isn't creative enough. Not that there's anything wrong with that, Mina. You've plenty of strengths. You're responsible, mature, thoughtful. Not creative. I love to draw, Mina said softly. And you're very good at it, Papa said. She beamed. He grumped at Mother. Mina's plenty creative. Look at what a pretty kite she made. I want a pretty kite, Rina said. Mina, make me a pretty kite. Please, Papa, tell Mina to make me a pretty kite. Please, please, please. Me too, Bian shouted. I'm sure Mina will help you both make pretty kites for the next wind day if you ask her nicely, Papa said. And Mina saw his pleading expression. She hid a smile and looked sternly at the twins as if she thought they were incapable of asking for anything nicely. Rina yelped. I said please. Mina opened her mouth to say yes, but Mother was already talking. Of course she'll help you, but you must promise to help her with her chores whenever she asks, and you mustn't bother her when she's with her egg. You understand why? Beast and Guardian need to bond. Bian and Rina chorused, Yes, Mother. The bells tolled louder, chiming all together now in a mess of notes. Giggling, the twins clapped their hands over their ears. Mina held tightly to her kite. Beneath the bells, she could hear it, the wind. It had its own voice, a roar that steadily grew louder. Before them, the cornstalks swayed, gently at first and then harder, until they were pitched at an angle. Mina felt the wind lift her hair, and she heard the twins squeal excitedly. Ready, Papa shouted. Ready, Mina thought. Ready, her family shouted. Each of them unspooled their kite string. As the wind blew, it lifted their kites into the air. Mina released her string faster and faster, and her kite rose. The ribbon tail flapped in the breeze. The kites danced in the sky, and the twins shrieked with delight. Mina laughed out loud as hers dodged and swooped. The colors were brilliant against the blue, and she felt the tug on the string as if the sky wanted to run away with her kite. So, beside her, Papa was twisting the two strings that held his kite so it would dive beneath the others, then rise up above them. Gatan's kite was wobbling in the air, and he unspooled more string. Mina guided hers higher and higher. Soon she heard voices carried on the wind guardians on their beasts. Holding her kite steady, Mina watched the sky. And there they were. The wind beasts were silver dragons with white feathery wings and brilliant, sparkling antlers like deer. They flew in loops and spirals through the air between Mina's family's kites, while their guardians called to one another, shouting and laughing. Dozens of them flew overhead, flocking like shimmering birds, and Mina knew that hundreds of them were spread all across the farmland, on their way to the bay to carry the fishing boats out into the deeper ocean. They'd remain with the boats for the rest of the fishing season. But today is our day, Mina thought as she flew her kite higher. With her free hand, she waved to the wind guardians. Very soon, I'll be flying too. And that is the end of the first chapter. So if you liked the book, you can head on over to the library and check it out. And one more time, this was Spark by Sarah Beth Durst, and I hope you enjoyed. Goodbye.